Hello everyone, welcome. So, how was the day? How was the day at office? How was the day at markets? And how was the portfolio? So, my portfolio was pretty decent, not very bad. And also, our trade to trend investor was okay. Since we have minor positions, I think we are not making that big money. But today, I do have some plans for pyramiding our existing stocks. So do hold on and listen to those ideas that we're going to have. We're going to speak about soon. I think I joined again a little early. I just see one person who's online with me, probably two, not many, or maybe just my YouTube is not getting updated. I'm not sure, but yeah, we'll still probably wait for a minute or so, and then we can go ahead. I see already Ganesh, Hemant have joined. We have 3 people now who have joined. So again, not a great day in markets, but there were a few stocks which did really well, and also some stocks from our watch list did really well, right? And McDowell's, Ganesh is saying he bought McDowell's. McDowell's obviously was one of the picks we're talking about in the last couple of days from the F&O space. So McDowell's also did really well, but there is also another F&O stock which I'm going to talk about, and also some pharma stocks which we spoke about yesterday also did well. In fact, I feel the pharma stocks have bottomed out. The pharma index has bottomed out, and we're going to head higher from here. And I already gave my views yesterday. Remember, no one is talking about pharma now, and everyone is going to talk about pharma soon. So before everyone jumps into the train, you also need to buy pharma stocks and probably hold them until before everyone starts talking about them. And also there were 2 stocks which I updated today: TBZ and the other one. I can't believe I forgot the stock. So I have such a bad memory, I'm sorry. So I did post 2 stocks today. One was TBZ from the jewelry space, and the other one was Jammu and Kashmir Bank. I'm really sorry, but I completely forgot that other stock. But apart from this, also Moreopen we discussed yesterday did well. I did speak about just one specific stock from my side yesterday, which was Moreopen, right? And I said Moreopen is probably making a bottom, and we did reverse very well. So don't forget to watch a video that I'm going to post tomorrow on these 3 stocks, proper technical analysis, plus probably some fundamental touch as well. Okay, so these 3 stocks will be posted tomorrow. Don't forget to look at that video. And Jammu and Kashmir Bank did really well, and TBZ also did really well. And I think they can really give good returns going forward. Probably I'm expecting around 40-50% returns in the next couple of months, and then it might go into consolidation, and then probably might take some more time before it heads higher. But don't forget, just because I said it's going to go 40-50%, don't put all your money, because they might not really work, and you never know. One of the stocks that I posted some time back was Wabag, and it's going sideways after some good moves, right? So it can also do this. It can really test your patience. Wabag is really, after the breakout there, it had some nice, long consolidation, and then again it had a breakout. It did give some good moves. Again, it's going through a long consolidation. So it can also happen with the stocks that I'm posting now. Very few stocks move like the way Network 18 has moved. Now, also don't forget, Network 18 is a good time to add to your positions if you haven't. So the reason why I'm saying is, we are close to a breakout. Probably tomorrow or day after it's going to break out, and it's going to give a very good breakout, and it can head higher. So once it breaks out, then your stop can move to 73 as well. But not every stock moves like Network 18, as I said. Now the reason why I'm talking about Network 18 is it's in the last phases of consolidation, and tomorrow or day after is when we can expect a good breakout. Okay, but otherwise, yeah, there are a lot of stocks in our watch list also which have done well. Like, for example, if you've seen, Abico was triggered today in our portfolio. Jubilee Industries 5% circuit again. We have a plan for pyramiding Jubilee Industries, Abico, and Blue Star. I will come to that shortly. Do hold on with me. TBZ, JK Bank, fresh recommendations that I've given today. Allsec did well, which was in our watch list. Gravita did well, which was in our watch list. And there are a few other stocks which did well a couple of days back, but yeah, they are all consolidating. But do keep an eye on these stocks if you haven't, if you don't have anything else to watch. These are some of stocks which can do really well going forward. Okay, so now let's move into today's views. Okay, and also don't forget, this is result season. There's a lot of stocks are doing well. Focus on those stocks, and probably you can make some decent money going forward. And I feel you're going to have an excellent result season. Of today, obviously McDowell's was the star of the day. Everyone is talking about it because D. Muthike is invested, and we also covered this in our newsletter. I think in the 14th of the newsletter, and we talked about how we are seeing a very good rectangle symmetrical breakout. No, so if you haven't subscribed to the newsletter yet, go ahead and subscribe. But I was looking at this symmetrical triangle breakout in in McDowell, and I did recommend it when it was around 690 odd, and today we're at 880, and I see this heading towards levels of 2000 odd, probably 2500 odd in the next few years, and it's an excellent SIP candidate as well. So if you want two SIP candidates from my from my perspective in the large cap space, one is Bharti Airtel, which can be a very good SIP candidate. Monthly, if you have some money, just keep putting some money in that, and this also can head to 2000 levels probably in the next 4-5 years. And also United Spirits also, right? So these two stocks are excellent picks, and I think they'll do really well in the coming years. Both are very good companies. We know about Airtel, most of us know about United Spirits, and I feel they can really give good returns. So even for a SIP candidate, you can consider them. I don't really prefer SIP because sometimes you buy it high, but ensure when you have good dips, do buy these stocks. They are blue chips, and they can do well going forward. Okay, enough of investment advice, and let's jump into our Nifty views. Okay. So Nifty again had a sideways day after 2 days of sideways day, and I think we are going to probably retest levels of 18,050 levels. Now remember, I spoke about some levels yesterday, right? We did have a nice breakout from that level there yesterday. We did break out from there, and also we broke out from this parallel channel, right? Now, one thing that Nifty can do is probably, in fact, also we did reverse from that point, but yeah. So this is a major support that I see, right? 18,060 levels and 18,000, 100. 18,100, 60 to 100 is a very good support level, which I would probably look out for to buy and look for probably any green signals or some consolidation or some higher low. But today, if you were trading Nifty, then probably you should have got out when we had that big red candle at that point. And we had a big crack, and then it was easy money beyond that point today, and you don't usually get such opportunities. So we did have a very good opportunity here as well, right? And we did have a good move. If you see, we continuously made higher lows, and now at this point we've had a long consolidation, almost from 12:15 to 2:15. That's a 2-3 hours consolidation, 2 hours consolidation. Then we had a nice breakdown. Now obviously the short-term trend is down completely, and I see some reversals happening only around 18,100. 18,110, 18,060 level. So that's the zone I'm looking at. And if you want to really take a trade, wait for that level and then take a trade. Remember, in intraday also patience is very important. You cannot just keep buying or placing your orders at any point. The risk reward literally goes for a toss. So for me, I would look for longs around this point. Shorting opportunity has gone. It was at that point if you had a short. Right now I'd look for some longs around that point. Okay, and also if we kind of go above that highs, which is 18,250 levels, also you can probably go long, and you can take a trade there as well. Okay, but overall I think few more days before we kind of break out from here and head higher. I think market is just going sideways. Note CNX mid cap and small cap were positive today in spite of Nifty getting 0.3. So that shows that mid cap and small cap index is being bought, or stocks are being bought. Right, we had a 0.08% here, and even on the small cap index we had, I think, around a 0.1% or something, 0.2% upside, right? So overall, it's just a minor correction. Don't be really worried, and keep buying the stocks that you feel are strong. And yeah, don't forget to watch the video tomorrow that I'm going to share. So let's look at a portfolio today. So we had some good moves today in Jubilant Industries, 5% secured, Blue Star 1.5%, and Rolex 1%. And also today we added Ambika Cotton to our portfolio. And I'm going to discuss the pyramiding for these three stocks. RACL and CB are going to pyramid, but we're going to pyramid Blue Star, Blue Star, Jubilant Industries, and Ambika Cotton. These three stocks will pyramid, and also we'll trail a stop. Now remember, always I say when you're going to pyramid, you need to first ensure that you're going to trail your stop loss and then pyramid to your portfolio, because you need to first reduce your risk that you're having currently, and then add on to your stock more. So the pyramid plan is here. I've given the levels for Blue Star Co and Jubilant Industries. So let's look at the stocks and then we'll look at the pyramiding plan. So finally, I think the Rolex ring is going higher. So not on very good volumes, but we had good volumes yesterday, but today was not great volumes. But I think it's still a decent candidate. I just want a very good closing, and then I'll trail my stop loss to 1130 odd level. But for now, I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to keep my stop at 1150, and let's see how it behaves. The same with RACL gear. Not a very good green candle there. We had some sell off and we did close in the red. So if you see, it's 556 for the open and 551 was the close. So again, I'm not really confident to pyramid this stock at this point. So I'll just keep it. The stop loss continues to be around 480. Ambika Cotton got triggered today, and we've had a nice close above. So we had two rejections, 2095 and 2100. So what I'm going to do here is, add above today's high, and then, keep a stop around 1920, which is this day's. So there's a small gap there. So I'm going to keep my stop at 1920, and, then probably add above 2200 probably. Okay, I'll update this. I've not updated this in the sheet yet. I'll do that tonight, and I'll post an update on Telegram. Jubilee Industries has given again a beautiful close, all-time high close. I think previous was 593.3. We've gained 594.7. So again, upper security, excellent volumes. I think this can go much higher. Remember, we are trading in that resistance. It was trading around last 2 months, but now we're able to cross that level, and we're heading higher. So here, what I've done is I've kept my trailing stop loss to 547, which is yesterday's low. Right, I've trailed my stop loss 547 because we had that resistance over there, so I don't expect it to come back below 547, and I presume that today's that wick shows that the supply was being absorbed and it hit circuit. So that's the reason I'm doing that, and I'll add above today's high. 595 is when I'll add. Blue Star Company again had an excellent closing today. We closed almost in the green, good green candle there. So again, it closed above a major resistance. So I'm going to trail my stop loss to 915. So 915, I'm going to buy above 955. Okay, CUB again has been in the red, so no plan there as such. Okay, so these are the pyramiding plans, and I hope we can execute them tomorrow. Let's see how it turns out. But otherwise, yeah, you can go through the remaining stocks here and feel free to choose the ones you want. Okay, now one stock that I said from the FNO is Bharati Airtel, right, which might do well going forward. So it's up to you how you want to trade, but I think the moment we cross this level, which is 713.15, you can already take a trade if you want with a stop around 675. So 675 is stop, 25-point stop. That's hardly a 3% stop loss from here, and I think this can do really well in the next series. Probably another couple of days. If you see some tight consolidation, it's probably another 1 or 2 days. And if you see the volumes have been rising since this day, the volumes are going up every day. So I think we are done, and Airtel should move higher going forward. Okay, that's one stock which I want to discuss. Okay, fine. So let's look at your questions for the day. Hello everyone. Gravita also is moving well. Shende, yes, and JNK Bank as well. Levels to pyramid McDowell's. You can pyramid McDowell's right now if you're confident. Go ahead and pyramid, but always there's a chance that it might break. But you can pyramid at the current levels and trail your stop to 800 levels. So 805 or 800 level also is fine. And right now is a good level to pyramid. In fact, if you were confident in your trend lines, the point to pyramid was when you saw that wick over there around the trend line, and you saw next day green candle. Now obviously tomorrow there might be a strong gap up. I'm not sure how much the gap up is going to be, but if in case you have a dip tomorrow, definitely it's a time to pyramid, and then trail your stop loss to 800 levels for your positional trading portfolio. Okay, so that's my view. VIP, I think I've discussed this already, Dinesh. VIP. So we've done a retest, right? So I did talk about this. We've done a retest, and we're again going high. So you can do a pyramiding now if you want, and trail your stop loss to 500 levels. I don't expect it to go below 500. Okay. Yes. I will teach you trend lines. Definitely. It's just that I don't have the time right now, and I think maybe soon. Probably we'll have a session next week, Sunday. And I'll share the link, and we can go through a session of trend lines. Okay, definitely I'll do that. Hey Vijay, Krishna Sendil has a good point. Results triggering recovery, a good title, definitely. But I think, see, a lot of people are talking about valuations, but if you look at the results, they've been tremendous, right? So you look at textiles, you look at United Spirits today, you look at many stocks. I think IT kind of has hit a top probably. I'm not sure really. But I think as your earnings grow, your PE is going to reduce, right? So I remember when last year when Nifty was trading, people are talking about 30 PE, 40 PE Nifty, but that PE is reduced now automatically. So as the earnings catch up, your PE reduce, and market still will have some room to head higher. And yeah, I think if you're holding a stronger stocks with some decent valuations, I think you would not really get battered badly unless you're holding stocks which have very strong fluctuations like ISTC, right, which had such strong fluctuations. So unless you don't hold such stocks, if you're okay with peaceful trading and investments, then go for good stocks like United Spirits, Airtel, or if you can take some risk, then go for stocks like I posted today, TBZ, Jammu and Kashmir Bank or Gravitas or JSL. These are little volatile, but they are still decent companies. Not TBZ, it's not a very stable company in terms of profits, but definitely something like Gravita or even JSL can be considered. Senthil, valuation rating is something that I'm not really comfortable with. I believe that price will eventually lead valuations. So if a stock is going to top out, it will top out when the valuations are the highest, and also when earnings are the highest, right? So yeah, I'll not really get into that aspect. Singer India, is it good to take entry right on pullback? Let's look at. Oh, it's gone up. It's hit 20% circuit, right? Definitely you can take a on pullback, definitely you can consider. But for now, I think the stock is hit 20% circuit, and also it looks really good because it's just breaking out all-time highs. And I think it's an excellent trade to take. If you get any dips, you can take this trade. It's a beautiful cup and handle there on the monthly charts, and I think it's more than 16-year breakout. So obviously, if you get any dips, definitely add. Your stop loss should be 60 levels. Okay. ITC actually I already spoke about ITC. ITC also has bottomed out. Now again, if you were following me, you would know that ITC kind of bottomed out at a point there, around confluence. Now this is what I call confluence of support zones. It's very, very important when you look at it. So that's a confluence of zones, right? You have a horizontal support plus you have a trend line support, and confluence of trend lines are the best place to go ahead and take those trades. So in case you are holding ITC or want to buy ITC, you just buy above that day's high with that day's lower stop. It's as simple as that. I think it can head higher. ITC results, I'm not sure. But tomorrow, in case you get a dip, you can still buy to the stop around 230. Okay. And I think ITC can perform. Now, same thing happened with United Spirits. I'm not sure if you observed that, but the same confluence of trend lines happened in United Spirits. So we had a trend line resistance there and we had a support around that same point, right? So it's the exact same thing that I just showed you in ITC. We also observe it here. So once you see a candle like that, all you have to do is buy above the day's high with the day's lower stop, a very small risk, probably maximum 3% stop, 4% stop, and you can get some really good risk reward returns. But the point is, are you willing to scan so many stocks to find such stocks? That's the question. But ITC looks very good. Vimta Labs, Arpit, we have Arpit today. Thanks for joining. Probably there every day. I'm not sure if I follow you, but yeah, again, thanks for joining. So I think we had kind of a breakdown there, went in consolidation mode. And again, yes, it looks very good. We kind of had a breakout there. We had a breakout yesterday itself, and we are just following up today, right? Again, a very good chart. If you see, we're continuously forming higher lows, and there's a nice base which formed there before we kind of headed higher, right? Also, if you look from the trend line, probably there was a trend line, retest. Exactly. So we kind of had a trend line retest there, and we had a breakout, right? Excellent stock again. I think also it's trading in a channel. So if you look at the channel, if you just draw this, you will observe the channel there. That's a channel. That's a perfect channel. And I think we're heading towards levels of, up to the 400, 500 levels. 500 levels definitely is coming. So that's probably another 30%, 30 to 40% returns from here. And yeah, it can do well. But it's in a beautiful long-term uptrend. If you're able to hold, these consolidation phases, then this stock can keep heading higher. It's a good pick, Arpit, a really good one. CRD, Reliance. Definitely, I'm taking each and every question. You don't have to post so many times. And yeah, the smileys, those emojis are not really required. I don't really like emojis, to be honest. But yeah, Reliance Industries, let's look at it. It has broken this short-term uptrend. It is definitely that big candle there is, the people are trying to absorb that supply, but right now there's no sign of recovery yet. But the good thing here is it is just consolidating, right? After the major high, it's just consolidating. So it might take a few more days before it heads higher. I'll just probably give it some time. Let's look at this charts. Yeah, even in that case, it's a trend line breakdown. So short term, it's still bearish. I'd probably look for some supports, around levels. Let's see which are the major support zones. Probably it can, that's one of the major supports on the hourly charts. It is still hovering around that support zone, and this area could act as some support zone. So unless it doesn't go below this, I think it can still has every possibility to head higher. Okay, so do watch it coming days. If you want to buy, a simple rule could be, buy above that high, right? I always say buy above swing highs. So hourly, if you see it got rejected here, 2675, again, it got rejected multiple times on the same zone. So around 2675, you can buy, with a stop around that low. So, but it looks good. Definitely Trendline courses. If I do have the time with a full-time job, I don't have the time, Barry, really, to be honest. But I'm definitely going to consider, teaching you all probably in a live session like we did last Sunday. We could have a Google Meet session and just, talk about basics of trend lines. But definitely go and read my blog. My blog definitely has some content on trend lines and how to can draw trend lines. Okay, Maruti, I don't use Fibonacci levels, but a basic thing that you can use Fibonacci, which I don't really use, is Fibonacci retracement. Now, for example, this entire move in Reliance, right? So if you take from that point to that point, the first retracement would be around 38.2 levels in case it even drops. The second is 50 and 61 point. There are so many articles. Go ahead and read about them. I don't use really Fibonacci levels. For me, support and resistance really work, and I follow that. Sharda, Cropchem, Deepak. Let's give Deepak some views on Sharda Cropchem. Now, Sharda Cropchem is, it did break out from a multi-year downtrend. So to 17, it has broken out. I think it's in the final stages of consolidation. Probably it can break out from that point. So I think it's just some time away, but it's going through a strong consolidation, right? So, and also the trend is not clearly up. It's just been going sideways since the listing. So I don't see any upsides, to be honest, unless probably if you want to be little, if you want to take a trade, I'll take a trade above that point, 345, buy above 345, and then see, where to keep my stop loss and all that. But for now, it might take some more time before it heads higher. Okay, so it's just going sideways. It's been going sideways since August. So it's more than 1.5 years. There's not much happening. Also on the monthly charts, if you see, the tops are being sold off, the lows are also being bought. So just going sideways, that's all I can say for now. About 345 can be a good buy, or you can buy even now with a stop around 285 levels. It can probably reverse. The higher lows are still intact on the weekly charts, so can perform. Yeah, and you can buy it right now with a stop at 285 or above 345 with a stop at 285, whichever you feel more comfortable with. Okay, view on KDDL, please. Do you think selling has been over, Naresh? KDDL, let's look at KDDL. I don't see any selling here, to be honest. It is an uptrend, right? So it's up 17%. It's sideways movement. It's just going up. Nice, beautiful structure, right? There's no problem here whatsoever, Naresh. Selling is definitely not there at all. Can we start seeing some cryptos just for understanding the role of trend lines? For example, Matic, XRP, SHIB. It definitely works. Trend lines work everywhere, right? Let's take Matic example. So Matic USD, right? So if you see, I've already drawn some lines over here. So this was a major trend line, right? So what I've done is I've connected some major points. So I've connected that point and I've extended it to those points. So once it broke down, it is just going sideways. It corrected for some time, it's just going sideways. Now a major point, I think Matic is kind of trying to break out from a major swing, major resistance. So from a crypto perspective, definitely it's a good time to buy Matic, right? You see the external volumes, you see that's a probably not a good left shoulder, but it's a massive bottom there in Matic. I think you can head much higher from here. You can buy right now with a stop around 1.286. But that's how I look at it. Now the problem in cryptos is that your stop loss is pretty deep. Now for example, if you're buying it right now at this point, then your stop loss is around 30% already. Now, whereas in stocks, you don't get that much, but here the reward is multifold, right? So in case this Matic works out, then it can work out really well, right? And also if you see every time it breaks out from that point, whenever you have consolidation and breakout, it does really well. So I can expect, Matic to give some good returns, and trend lines do work everywhere. Now, if you see, this is also another trend line that I just drew, right? The moment this trend line kind of broke out there, we had a good volume reversal, a nice wick, and we had a nice move up, right? And since then it never came around that lows again. So trend lines are a good tool to definitely look at charts, and they might do really well, and I think Matic can do really well. Let's probably take one more example, right? Let's take XRP. XRP is Ripple, I presume. Yeah. So now this chart has a lot of data, right? So first thing you have to do is go to weekly charts. And now if you see the trend, this is not really in a major uptrend, right? So it did go up in 2018, but then there's a major consolidation, and then it's probably going up again. Now again here, if you look at trend lines, now you might ask why I didn't pick the top and why didn't draw like that. I'll definitely take a class on that day. But again, that's a nice breakout there after a bottom. And if you also see, we had inverted head and shoulders here, right? So trend lines do work. It's up to how you look at it. And probably one last is Shib, if that's what you meant, right? So Shib looks excellent, right? So there's no doubt about it. So this is a very short-term chart with excellent moves. So again, that's the point where you have to buy, right? And you keep a stopper on that point there. So you can apply at any point. I think I will definitely take a session on trend lines at some point. Okay, but I think for today that's enough of information. And let's look at Maruti Amit. Maruti does look like, you know, it's taking support around that zone. So still the higher lows are intact. So until the levels of 7080 are not broken, I think it can still head higher. It's just facing some resistance around that sell-off point. They are very short-term resistance, but I think it should be taken out looking at today's volume. Okay, it does look good. TVS, I think TVS results were excellent. It did have a nice gap up and it's sustaining that gap up, right? We have still not had a major red candle. So it still looks good. A stop loss for TVS can be around 566 levels. Okay, Maruti, I'd prefer to have a couple of questions, you know, always, not more than that. We have always too many stocks. Anyways, Gail looks like it's reversing from a trend line. The stop can be around 145. You know, 145 could be a good stop. You can buy even now, Gail. Bombay Dyeing is probably close to a bottom. I think it's close to that. So it's an excellent setup. You can probably buy right now. Keep a stop just to be safe around 90 levels. You can buy right now this dip, and a stop around 90 probably might work out, right? So I'm presuming that that's the trend line there, and I'm presuming it will not go below 94, but stop, keep it around 95, 90. It can probably do well going forward. I think varies. So the perfect way to draw trend lines is to, there's no perfect way, to be honest. Trend lines are very subjective, as I always say. But I prefer using wicks in case I see that wicks can help. But yeah, we look at a lot of charts, you know, probably 1 hour session just for trend lines. Heritage Food, Devrata, right? It looks excellent. Right now, again, if you see, I've considered wicks here and I've drawn this trend line already. And if you see, it reversed perfectly from that wick there and it's heading higher. Again, an excellent setup to go long. I think it has done some nice consolidation on that point, a nice breakout, and it's heading higher. It can head much higher from here. Stop here can be around 445. Okay. Okay, Arpit, sorry, I didn't look at that. Vinta Labs on weekly. Oh, yes, that's an excellent setup. So it is a massive consolidation breakout. Yeah, now it looks like much higher, bigger targets are there, definitely. So yeah, Arpit, it does look fantastic. It looks like there's a small left shoulder and there's a small right shoulder. It's a massive head, but this is not a perfect head and shoulder pattern. But yeah, the charts look fantastic. It can do much. It can do very well going forward. Okay, from a technical perspective, Exide Industries, exited industry for Nika. Yeah, Nika, you told me that, Abhinav. Yeah. Easemetrip is in a strong downtrend. It has broken all kinds of trend lines. I think it's going to take some more time before it recovers, to be honest. But there's a major support zone, you know. I'll just show you the major support zone. Now on the monthly, if you see, that's a very solid consolidation zone. So unless on the weekly charts, you will see that much clearly. Unless we don't close below 350 levels, I think still this can be a good long-term stock. And I think we can still head much higher, right? So even on daily time frame, it has broken down. On the weekly chart, still the trend is up. Okay. Akshar Chem, I think, has reversed. So Akshar Chem has probably again reversed, right? So that was the levels we're talking about. In the sell-off, we kind of had a dip, but note the trend, it's still up. So it can head higher from here. Yeah, the stop loss can be as close as 470 as well. Okay, Orient Bell, Sagar has some nice stocks always. So let's check Orient Bell, right? Yeah, so that trend line is not valid anymore, right? So let's look at the weekly charts. So on the weekly charts, if you see, we've had a nice support there, right? So it's kind of setting up nicely. That's actually a good setup. I think once we cross 370, more momentum can come, but definitely looks like a nice setup. Can head higher from here also. Okay, so again a decent stock. Supetro, right? That's what you mean. Yes, Supetro. Supetro has kind of broken down from a massive trend line. So I think it's going to go into sideways consolidation for some time. I think these are some of the stocks which did really well last year, and I think it is right now near a major support zone, right? But I think the time is over. Probably it might go into some consolidation, a few months, few weeks, and I usually after a trend line break with gap down, if you see there's a gap down, the stock tends to go into sideways consolidation or a downtrend, right? Also volumes have been massive. So yeah, be careful. I would exit if you're holding, exit below 600 and look at it later again. There are so many other stocks. Okay, GE Shipping and Easemetrip I've given my view. So GE Shipping, again, looks like a nice setup. It is probably close to a trend line there. It is reversing. It does look like it is reversed. So stop can be 310, just a 17-point stop. It can do well going forward. Okay. Remember again the trend lines I'm looking at. I'm correcting the wicks and I'm ignoring sometimes if here I'm just ignoring that. I'm just trying to see. Now, if you want a safe stop loss, and safe stop loss should be around 287, because if I connect that point, then there's still a chance that the stock can come all the way and test around 300 level. So if you keep 310, you might stopped out. That's why I always say keep the previous swing low as a stop and never the current swing low as a stop. But also you don't have to have always trend lines like that. There's a good chance that this will not come down going forward. Okay. So yeah, I've covered that. Vignesh entry. Yes, it's a good time to add, but just see where your stop is, right? So I think that trend line is acting as a good support there. I'll remove this trend line, that doesn't make sense. But that trend line probably is acting as a good support. Probably your stop loss here can be around 1650. You can add now. Jake, yes, let's look at Tata Motors. I think Tata Motors I spoke about some time back. It does look very good in this weak market also. It never went below. So it's forming a nice sideways consolidation. It can head higher, but if you're entering fresh, enter only about 530. But, with a stop around 460 probably, that gap might not get filled. Who knows? But yeah, that's the take on that one. PNB looks fantastic. The charts look excellent. It has given a very good breakout there on the daily charts, and it's just going sideways. So just about time before this heads higher. But on the weekly charts also, if you see, it has kind of broken down from the steep trend line. Now I don't rely on steep trend lines really. The angle is too steep, but I think it has definitely made a bottom and it's heading higher. Looking at the strength in the entire PSU space. Okay, hey Suman. Rohit, USD INR. No one has asked me currency views, but I think there are usually no one asks because they are slow movers. But I think definitely it is heading higher, right? If you see, the trend is clearly up on the weekly charts. I don't see any signs of this going down. Probably we are heading higher from here, and there's a major resistance for now around that point there. And once we break 75.6, probably we are heading higher. But there's a very strong base forming. Now, if you see, that strong base is around that zone, right? So that was a breakout there, and it did a retest. It just dragged its way and it's probably heading higher from now. Okay. BSC Limited and Deepak fertilizer. Let's look at that. Yeah, BSC again. If you look at the linear charts, it has reversed from the trend line there, right? And it is looking good. The stop can be as close as 1260, 1250, or even around this swing low, which is around 1200. Okay, it does look decent. Deepak fertilizer, just the stock is just going sideways. It's been going sideways for some time now. Now, when it goes sideways, the first thing I like to check is where is the trend line, right? Now, this trend line has obviously broken, so then that trend line doesn't matter anymore, right? All you have to look at is now when it takes out that zone, right? When it breaks out from that zone, probably we're going to look at good moves. But the good point is we have a strong base there, so you can keep a stop around 390 and take a trade. And probably once it starts moving up, then you can add more to this particular stock. Okay, Amrutajan. Let's look at the last couple of stocks. We're almost out of time. Amrutajan looks excellent, right? The trend has been excellent. It did not really drop much in the weak market, and it's kind of retested the previous breakout there. And I think it had a nice base there, and yeah, excellent. The setup looks amazing. Long-term view also, yeah, it does look excellent. It's just going higher. No worries. If you're holding such stocks, continue to hold them. Deepak Nitrate a buy at this point? Yes, I think Deepak Nitrate could be a buy. I did give my view also on this yesterday. I feel it has probably bottomed out. A stop can be as close as 2260 or 2250. Take a trade. If this is the bottom, then probably it's going to head higher, right? No one knows. But since it's a very strong momentum stock, I feel that it will not die off so easily. Probably it's going to head higher, right? But a stop is 2250. All we can do is put our money and test if the bottom is made. If it has made, then you're going to get good returns, right? So that's how we do it. Okay, last two stocks, Methane Alloys. Again, it's just going sideways, nothing much happening there. Some more time probably before it heads higher. So yeah, I don't have really a good trend line there, but yeah, probably that's one of the trend lines that you can look at. I think it is probably some more time. It might consolidate some more time before it heads higher. Just give it some time. And Pi Industries, I think Pi Industries has broken down from a trend line. Like last time I saw that's a trend line which it broke down. I think some sideways consolidation for some time, but right now I'd not buy the stock for a positional trade or even for a swing trade. It looks really weak, and it can continue to be weak for some time. We never know. Okay, so nice. 26 people. Let's not forget to like this video, and don't forget to share this with your friends. I hope I've answered all of your questions, and you can, if you really like my analysis and all, just don't forget to tag me on Twitter and just throw some nice words. I'd be really glad, and probably retweet. And if you're really benefiting from the stocks that I post on Twitter also, if you're making some money, also do let me know. I'll be more than happy. A lot of people on other handles, they keep saying that they made money, this money, but my handle is the quietest handle, right? And I think I don't really get much feedback, maybe because I don't interact with all other handles. But yeah, if you do feel you're really benefiting out of some of the stock recommendations, and if you learned, definitely don't forget to just write a word or two on Twitter and tag me. That would be really helpful, and in order to grow my channel, grow my social media presence. Okay, so I'll leave you here. Thank you. Have a good day, and have a good evening. Sleep well, take care, and trade safe. Bye bye. I'll see you tomorrow.